can score on defense or special teams, that gives like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here we go.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early.
It's caught inside the 25. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big-time play there for the Texans. 62 yards. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kareem Hunt with another touchdown, number 24 on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point from McManus is good, and that'll make our score 14-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
King on first down. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
At the 31-yard line.
Ready. 55. Hey, eat. I got it. Check. Lucky. Go get him. Check right. Watch it,
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Now King from the gun on 3rd down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. And then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much, because as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
Check. Go back. We got motion. Back up.
On first down, punt. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and long. It's Watson rolling to his right. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
King now, off play action. His throw incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about 1 yard, if that. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now. The Eagles send out their punter now. Back deep, the former All-Pro Tyler Lockett. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. They'll look to set up his blockers. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the...
Looking for Pyramid, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. There he goes, right side. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5.
It's our time. It's our time.
Out of the gun, Watson. And he's got his man on the out route. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score.
at the 40-yard line.
Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know. Check 23.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. From the 40 now on second down. Watson. He'll get this one to his tight end. That's Jason Kroon. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 45-yard line.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. That's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Rush in, rush in, rush in. 26.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Watch the blood, watch the blood, watch the blood. Watch the blood, motion, blood. Jim. Check. 22, check, Palmer. Shit, 22, check, Palmer.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense, 1st and 10. They'll run it here with Hunt. Now he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
On second down now, it's Hunt, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Kareem Hunt, his 25th touchdown, tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. McManus's point after is good, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
Here's King to throw on second down. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. To throw is King, operating from the gun. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now it's Lockett. Touchdown, Houston. Talk about flipping the script. That punt return, 86 yards. And the Texans have taken the lead.
Brandon, I loved his game in college, and I thought he would translate well as a pro. Boy, did he exceed my expectations. Another punt return for a touchdown.
Busted onto the scene as an all-pro returner as a rookie. He's not looking back. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40.
Forget the idea of flipping the field. They have now put themselves in a position to score points with that big-time return.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Get in the right room. Switch.
Off the bootleg, King. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9.
Let's get it. Check 52's the Clifton. Check 52's the Mike. Watch the curl. Let it go.
Looking to throw. King. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
Okay, ready. Get the ball. Watch the backer. Alert 3.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 14-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
All day, baby.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. It's their quarterback with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And maybe that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
Running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
Extra point splits the uprights. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen! 31! I'm coming after you! I'm coming after you!
A shotgun snap for Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
All day, defense, all day, all day. 2 points down, he's coming. Hey, we look slow. Mike 50, yo. And we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Hey, alert. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. 54. Let's go, we got this, Mike's 50, Mike's 50. And let's go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Watson. And he's going to go down again. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And it's fielded at the 34. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. King off the play fake. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Escaping the pressure right. Uncorks one for Davis. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's fourth down.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
No gain on this defense, no gain.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check 9, check 9. Watch it. Check 3, check 3.
On the run, this is Hunt. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Gotta wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Now Gurley. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Gurley. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They run. It's Gurley. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now King from the gun on third down. He's going to let this one go deep. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run again with Hunt. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Reset! 19! Get ready! Get ready! Get ready! 19-5!
Throwing on third down, Watson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Watson now to throw on third down. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Now it's Gurley. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
King now. Off play action. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it.
Now it's Hunt. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll run again with Hunt. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Tighten down. There you go. Hatch it.
On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
A gain of 3. It's 4th down.
Check. Motion out of the backfield. At 59. At 24. 50, minus 50.
On 4th down, Watson. And an alley to run. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down.
A gain of 6.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Minus 56. Watch the run.
Alert.
Shit. Tight dog. 22, jet, cover. 22, jet, cover. Jet.
Watson off play action. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They run right side with Hunt, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. From the gun, here's Watson. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Von Miller in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
So an interesting call there to take for 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the air.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 30-yard line.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. Now this will do the job nicely as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
At the 10-yard line.
Reset. 19. Drop deep, drop deep. Check.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. He'll buy some time right. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Mike's 50, Mike.
Watson from the gun, he'll throw. It's caught. Lock it. 9 yards that time.
Let's go.
A gain of 9 yards. And the Texans first down.
So a challenge is upon us. I tell you, close game, 4th quarter. This is a huge decision.
Oh, no doubt about that, partner. A lot has to be riding on this call. And you know it is a tight one because it has to be indisputable visual evidence in order to change it. Now here's the big question. Do they actually have that evidence?
We're about to find out.
Reset. 19. Watch the car. 26.
They'll run on 1st down. Hunt. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
2nd and 12 at the 18-yard line.
After the loss, here's 2nd and 12 from the 18.
Watch QB's up. Hey, check 50. Check 50.
Now Watson operating from the gun. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. Defensively, it was Avonte Maddox with a tackle. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
Here's King, looking to throw on second down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the pistol, it's Gurley. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
A gain of 11 yards. It's now 4th down.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll make this a 7-point game. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Watson now to throw. And an alley to run. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Mikel Roby-Coleman. And it's a huge return as he brings this all the way back down to the 15-yard line.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100-1. And it's not looking good for him here.
Ready? 50, right there in the middle. 55. Target, 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 target.
On 1st down, it's Gurley. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 3.